Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No, your pod is popping off. Then when I found out you were with Mo, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, I'm over there.
Taste.
I was out of podcasting for a while.
Yeah.
And now I'm back in the game.
What happened?
Well, basically, I just was like, I started a podcast back in the day because it was something to do around COVID time.
Totally.
And I loved it, and I did it with my brilliant friend Shelby Wolstein, who's a very funny comic. Have you met her?
I haven't met her, but I listened to her pod, she on the pod with you.
Yeah,
so good.
She's so funny, and we had a great podcast at HeadGum, and then I just was like, not feeling it, and we had some things go on, and so I got out of podcasting for a while.
Okay.
The reason I came back is because I was like, the internet wants you to have content.
Totally. Yeah.
And so
right.
this is a way
in
to feed the content machine. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like crowd work clips. I don't really like posting my stand up that much. Like my bits.
Right. It's like easy for me to say because I'm not a stand up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna judge.
Yeah.
Judge
away. Judge away.
Judge your ass. No. But I feel like stand up just doesn't always translate. It's like unless all of the audience is like mic'd up, you know, you like can't tell where the laughs are. And it really is a live performance art. I
think you're supposed to be in the room for it. I don't love sharing it. Even a lot of sometimes specials. I'm like, I know that probably killed in the room, you know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But I just don't love posting stand-up clips. So I was like, well, I need to do something to feed the web.
Yeah, so you're so fucking funny.
Well, thanks, dude. So yeah, I got back. I'm doing a podcast now called So True.
Oh my God, yeah, and it's popping off on TikTok.
It's going well. I'm not too upset about it. It's definitely it's doing better than I thought it would. So I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Oh my God, fuck yeah. Well, you're made for it. What I was going to ask you, since like whatever, I'm new around here, what do you think? Like, do you have any tips and tricks?
About podcasting?
Yeah.
Well, it's difficult because I think the first thing is just having on people you genuinely give a fuck about.
Totally.
I think people try to swing for these, like first of all, most people who have podcasts have these producers.
Yeah.
And I have producers, but the producers will go, oh my God, you know who's killing it on TikTok? This girl who does gardening videos.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And then she has 5 million gardening followers.
Right.
And then you have her on and she's not that interesting and you don't actually like her and you don't want to interview her because she's boring.
Yes.
And the garden followers are not going anywhere else. They're just looking at the garden TikToks.
Yeah, exactly. And like what kind of gardening? Like tulip gardening or like weed gardening?
Exactly, correct.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's like, having good guests. And then I think also just like genuinely, I think what's working for us on our show is just like, I mean, for sure, you have those big pops of people. You have on someone like Trixie Mattel or Brittany Broski.
Yeah.
They have huge fan bases.
Those.
Yes. It's not like that isn't a plus, right?
Yeah.
Their fans are going to come watch.
Right.
But it's just being with people that you actually want to chit-chat with, I think.
Right.
Which is me and you, of course.
That's why we're here. But
yeah, I think the podcasting in general, it's like, I kind of feel like Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, where I'm like, well, like, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, I'm Blondie and I'm a lawyer.
Yeah,
and I'm a podcaster.
I'm a hot blonde lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even check my hair before this. Does it look okay?
Oh my God, I love it. But do you want me to bring you a mirror?
Well, no, I just was realizing I drove over here windows down for 30 minutes in LA and then got on without checking my... I look bad.
No, stop.
Hold on, let me do one thing. I bet I fixed it.
Yeah, I love a windswept look.
Fixed.
And I love the color.
This is important though. Your followers need to see that I'm just human like y'all.
No, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just human like y'all.
I mean, actually, you're like king god, like on top of the world. But in this room,
I'm just
you're
like
human.
y'all. I'm just like y'all.
Yeah.
I ride the bus. I do the whole thing.
I saw you coming over in your SUV.
I pull up in a little.
You're not on the bus.
Anyway.
And you, okay, so I was doing some research. So you're from Missouri.
From Missouri.
I'm from outside of St. Louis.
Thank you for your service. Illinois side or Missouri side?
Illinois side.
Right, okay. O'Fallon?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, how'd you know?
It's just a good guess. When you say outside of Illinois or when you say outside of St. Louis on the Illinois side, I always just assume O'Fallon.
That's where you go to? Yeah, that's where I went to like middle school, high school. Where are you from in Missouri?
I'm from Northwest Missouri, so opposite.
Okay. I'm like, which way is that?
North of Kansas City, it's up by Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm far from you. I'd say we probably grew up probably 5 hours from you, 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, further than I thought because the Midwest is huge, but also just not that big.
Yeah.
Because there's not anything going on.
Yeah.
There's like nothing to live for.
Do you feel that way? I love the Midwest.
Do you? Well, I left when I was 18. So I didn't really all I did was kind of go to high school in a bubble, but I liked that. But other than that, I left right away.
I think it's a lot of people do that. They leave the Midwest when they're 18 and it's a totally valid perspective. When I was 18, I hated the Midwest too.
Totally.
But I think my perspective developed on it a lot. I went to school at Missouri State in Springfield.
And you have a sick-ass degree.
I have a sick-ass degree.
Right? What's your degree?
In sociopolitical
I'm like, what's your degree? I know it's sick-ass.
Sociopolitical communication. But I worked in politics in Missouri during that time.
Oh my God, what'd you do?
I did like volunteer training and voter outreach, like door knocking and stuff, and then campaign messaging.
Okay, cool. Did you learn? Did you like it? It seems like very like call center-ish. Knock on the door.
Yeah, I mean, you do knock doors, and you definitely have to do voter outreach. I liked the work.
You're supposed to be a comedian, so like, who cares even? Yeah,
but it was like I didn't like politics. I'm fascinated by politics, and obviously I see deep importance in politics.
Right.
But I didn't enjoy myself.
Well, especially in this country, it's like, what even is politics? It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's not like, I feel like what they're giving us is not actually the message underneath.
Yeah.
It's like we're worried about all this other stuff, but like, what about our like socioeconomic disparities?
Yeah.
You know, like that's really what it's about, but we're like pretending to care about Roe v. Wade.
Right.
It's like, I know you don't give a fuck about my vagina.
Yeah, they're well, I think they care, and they care about control.
Yes.
Right. And so they care to the extent that any way they can control us. And these right-wing guys, I think you're right. A lot of these right-wing people, they have no genuine moral stance on anything.
Totally.
They don't genuinely have a moral opposition to
they're
abortion.
driven by money. They're going to do like,
bills.
yes, exactly. Whoever they're endorsed by, and like not give any thought. But we are taking it as like obviously I took it as a personal offense. I cried for days.
Yeah. And I think you were right, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it is deeply sad.
Yeah.
What are your politics? Come on, tell the listeners. What are your politics? Don't be scared.
No, and that's something you say that I love.
Yeah.
You're like, I have no politics here.
Do you have no politics? Are you apolitical? I don't think you are.
I think like I'm still obviously learning, and I'm wondering what the fuck to like care about.
Yeah. Because
I genuinely think, it's like all coming from a control. I don't know who to trust, and I truly don't know where to get my information.
Yeah.
It's like Breaking Point's YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, they're on each side, but even then I'm like, oh God, I feel like, you know, the more liberal left-wing one, it's like she actually can't have a conversation. Me talking shit on these people, I want her on the pod.
Yeah. Come on the pod.
Yeah, please. But yeah, I feel like even now just talking about politics or even thinking about it, as we know, there's no gray area. There's no way to actually like learn something from somebody else because people are just caught in their own like echo chamber.
Yeah.
So it's like my politics are just like discussion, but don't come at me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to argue.
You don't want to fight.
No.
Do you think that's because I mean, you started off by saying I'm still learning. Do you think there's any kind of like insecurity there?
I think definitely there's an insecurity, and I feel like I am on the opposite spectrum. It's like if I'm too hard in my viewpoint, then I'll check myself and like learn from other people and take it in, and then I just get so fucking confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is actually, you know, kind of the right thing? But now I'm learning it's okay for politics to also be personal. Like you don't have to take it personally, but that's why like we believe in different things because we've all been affected by different things. It's like I'm a woman, obviously I believe in women's rights, and I take every man besides you personally.
Yeah. No,
because I've been put upon.
I think every politic is personal. You have to have a personal politic.
Yeah.
And I think, does it make you anxious when I bring up politics at all? Like, do you have a desire to not discuss it?
No, I actually think it's good to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want people, like, one, I don't, just because of the world I come from, it's like Bachelor, like, okay, what's this bitch going to talk about? You know, like, found in Lerb. Like, no, bitch, I found I'm a lesbian.
Yeah. And thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I mean, dating Robbie is no easy feat.
Yeah, no, literally.
You've really done something huge.
No, actually, you know what? But I get to see a side of her that other people don't see, and we are in couples therapy, and she is slightly autistic.
Well, I think slightly was generous.
And yeah. It's nice to talk about someone who's like with politics with someone who's so informed. I
think, I mean, I have as much learning to do as anybody, but I think the thing you said about not knowing where to start and who to trust, I think if there's anyone watching, listening who feels the same way, I think that the number one thing I would say, I've worked in politics for a long time, and I find myself to be a very political person, and I would talk about anything on here that you wanted to.
What are your politics?
I'm extremely leftist. Yeah. Very leftist politics.
Well, naturally, we're like, you know, not a minority in our sexuality.
Yeah, there's a lot of us over here.
Yes, exactly. So it's like I feel like you're gonna be more on the left side.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm very left, but I have a lot of friends. Not a lot of friends. I know a lot of people, and by virtue of I live part time in Kansas City, I know people who are more conservative, and I know some Republicans that I have dialogue with. Of course, baby, and I love that. Go. But I think the best thing I would tell someone about who to trust and where to get in is local grassroots movements that align with you.
Yeah, but like, what does even that mean? Like,
find an issue you care about. You know, if you, for example, if you as Gabby are saying, "Hey, I care about women's rights, and that is one thing that I know I'm passionate about, and I feel like anybody in the world, I would stand in front of them and say, women's rights are important to me."
That's my problem too. Is I'm also like a nihilist. Like I just cannot give a fuck at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like if they don't give a fuck.
So you have a hopeless politics.
Yes,
you
literally.
don't have hope. Yeah.
No, none.
Yeah.
I mean, not in this climate. I think Gen Z is now our hope because they're like anarchists. They're onto capitalism. They're very outspoken about it. So I'm like, thank God, maybe they'll save us. But right now, like with Grandpa Joe, and like a criminal, you know, like what are we doing? Like
I don't think Gen Z is gonna save us. I think they're. I think
you're like actually. I think they're
pretty
ruin it.
Stupid as well. Like I do get annoyed. I will say by there's a lot of it's like any generation or any group of people. Some great ones, some bad ones. But this whole like Gen Z's are a great hope thing that people are doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm obsessed with Gen Z.
I am not.
Okay, this is good because you're younger than me.
I am disillusioned by them.
I think it's just a sign of my age. If I become obsessed with Gen Z, people think I'm younger. I'm also a woman of this world in LA.
Yeah.
So I can't age.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
No.
Well, I just Gen Z. I think a lot of great qualities, but they're not this special, incredible, like majestic, life-saving force that we're gonna have. They're ultimately like. They're 18 and their politics are just as dumb as any 18-year-old's ever has been. They say things and I go, you're annoying. I'm of two minds about it, right? Because there's a part of me that understands that and agrees with it and goes, I have a big platform and my income, my mortgage, the bills that I help my family pay, the money that I donate to the causes I care about, that comes from me continuing to have fans. Yeah. And so there's a cost in
coming from my vibrator ad.
My vibrator ad is paying that mortgage, honey.
Yeah, like we got to do what we got to do.
So there's a cost benefit analysis that, of course, whether we like it or not, people who rely on fans for income have to do when they speak about issues. Yeah. It doesn't matter how people feel about that. That is the reality of the situations that we're in. But at the same time, because I've landed on the side of I'm going to always say what I think is the right thing to say, what I think is right and true in my heart. Yeah. I'm going to say all these things that I care about that are going to alienate certain people, regardless of what it does to my income and my platform, because I feel that way. I do feel myself wanting that from other people, and I don't know how fair that is, but it's how I feel. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I do look at creators and comedians and artists who aren't speaking up, and I know, and even though I can understand why they're not speaking up, I do feel a part of me that goes, well, join us. I feel it's the same way about coming out of the closet. Yeah. I go, please join us. Yeah. You know, we're out here. We'd love to have you with us.
Right. Yeah. And there is a lot of benefit to conversation like what we're having right now. Yeah. It's like just to even like normalize it in a public way. It is important, and it's good to see people that you care about and look up to talk about it, because you can do this in your own life with your own friends. I think where I come from too, it's like from the Midwest, everyone's so afraid to say what they think. Yeah. Like and I cannot have a conversation about politics. We were talking, Roe v. Wade, we were talking about abortion, and he was like, I think women who have abortions should go to and I'm like, okay, he's just like, he loves Fox News and he's a conspiracy theorist. He loves aliens. So those are the only like context clues I have and he was raised a Catholic, because I genuinely don't think he believes that. I think it's the personal attachment to the belief that he's afraid to get rid of. But it's like, I didn't have that practice growing up, because it's really vulnerable to share exactly what you think inside.
There's this theory in communication that, which, I studied in college.
Yeah, no, literally.
But there's this theory in communication that the words put things together and take things apart, and so when I say, for example, there are these clouds of associations that happen. For example, when you say I'm pro-choice, to a bunch of people in the country, that puts together that you're not a Christian. So it brings you in on. They say she is a liberal, she is coastal, she is all these other things. She probably is Free Palestine. She is. It puts all those words together because we have these central and peripheral root processing in our brain, and the peripheral is when you really take your detours and do all of the math to figure out who Gabby is as a person. Right. But central is that just animalistic, like that's a leftist, a liberal, a lefty.
Yes. Yeah. Which is hard for me also to find people I identify with and look up to in politics, because it's really hard. I feel like what you get hit with is just like their baseline values cores, what they're voting for, what they stand for, all endorsed by whoever, big pharma, big money, instead of like getting into the weeds.
Totally. Getting into the weeds is so hard, right? And that's the tough part about this conversation, particularly, is I think the internet, like you said, makes everything so clippable. Yeah. And it puts words together and takes them apart in such a powerful way. And you also, by the way, I think your position is very interesting, because I don't worry about being canceled almost at all. I'm a comedian.
Right, exactly.
And I come from this space of like challenging ideas and having conversations and making jokes about things. But you come from this your following is from a very different world. I know nothing about The Bachelor, by the way.
No.
Never seen an episode. Don't know anything about it.
Don't go watch. Yes.
Not going to go watch.
Maybe
just your episode or season. I don't know. Yeah. But I think
not episode.
I don't know. What is it?
You're one episode.
Were you the girl and the guys recording you, or were you were the girl and the guys were coming for you?
Yeah, me, and I had a co-bachelorette.
Because there's also one where it's the guys and you.
Right, I was on both.
You were on both.
Yes, no, but I'm just giving you shit. I don't give a fuck. But no, yes, I do. Get out.
That's so funny. No, but I don't know anything about it. But I do know the kind of reach and scale that has, and also the kind of audience. And I can totally understand the difficulty you must have not only in coming out, and I think that's so brave and cool of you, but also in even
mostly
talking about
cool.
politics.
Emphasis on cool.
Uncool.
I'm trying to fit in.
A cool girl.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. No, I think it is like I always want to push boundaries. I've even growing up with not very involved like parents or wanting to teach me, I've always had an interest in it. And I'm just like, how do I do it? I think also like my thing is, it's like, fuck, I feel like people can't break down politics like in a way that I want to understand them. I don't want to look at like an old white man and like learn from them because I just can't relate. But I think also like, yeah, I do have a platform, which I'm really grateful for. And I want to be my whole self. Like in social media, I'm very timid just because I know things can be taken out of context. I don't think it is the place for having the conversation, but I think it is like important, I guess, just to even like, you know, I didn't even know this stuff was okay to talk about or okay even to have different views in the same person in the room.
Dude, I totally feel you, and I come from a similar. I was just talking. I flew my mom to LA for Mother's Day this weekend, and we were chatting yesterday about how apolitical she is and how apolitical I was raised. Yeah, and I just get so torn up thinking about. I get so emotional and could really cry thinking about like how much of a privilege it is to be apolitical. How much of a privilege it is for me to go, because I have the desire on days when like I'm feeling really overwhelmed by the news. Yeah. And I'm feeling really overwhelmed by how horrible something is, like a Roe v. Wade situation, or how much I feel like homophobia is coming back in vogue in a big way right now. Like I'm seeing a lot of it.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm just seeing so much like these Christian TikToks I get fed about like people detransitioning and people being so anti. Yeah. I just feel like there is a big right wing kind of swing right now. And it affects many things. But I have the desire to be apolitical. I have the desire to go, I'm just going to hang out in my house and pay my little bills and see my family and friends and take care of the people I can.
Totally. But you can't, because you're actually so smart and you have like a great voice and people want to listen to you. So it's also like, at first I was like, I understand I have a platform. I could do a Dolly Parton and I could do whatever I want. People know I'm a feminist. Like I talk about it all the time. I'm fucking gay. I feel very put upon like by the patriarchy. Also being a lesbian is opening up another Pandora's box, like queer theory, all of that. Yeah. It's just what's on my mind and I get to talk about it. But even with this stuff, it's like not that we have a responsibility, but almost like we are kind of lucky to be able to talk about these things and maybe someone will listen. Like I think as much as I do want to be apolitical and I want that not to be a thing, it's like, but here we are.
Well, you feel the urge because it's comfortable and it's safe, but then you think about like, I get really tripped up thinking sometimes about the fact that I wake up in a home that hasn't been bombed to rubble, and then I get a glass of clean water from my kitchen, and I take a shower, and these are all I take a hot shower. Yes. And I get in a vehicle and drive to a podcast in Highland Park. Yeah. And I talk into a microphone about ideas, and I don't feel that the government's going to kick in the door and like take us off to jail for saying an opinion. Yeah. These are all things that I'm like, that's fucking crazy that so many people in the world don't get that. Yeah. It is a level of and the thing is, what I really mean by saying that is not like, woe is me, how hard is it to talk about things? What I really mean is I'm just desperate for a world where everyone gets to live in peace, you know?
Yes, yeah, completely
where everyone
agree.
Just gets left alone.
Yes.
I just don't understand why it's so...
Right.
And that almost feels childish. Like I feel childish sometimes, but I'm like, I don't want anyone to be at war.
Totally, because I also... Same. And I do like when I get so overwhelmed sometimes. So it's like we all have to take a break from the news. Holy fuck, I just like cannot do this anymore, which again is a privilege.
Self-care is a privilege. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, hair loss affects so many of us, not just the bald men, which I do feel for you. I do have compassion for you. I recently was around a bald man who made a joke about his beautifully shaped bald head, might I add. He started it and I thought I could finish it. No, not funny. I know it's a sensitive subject. You know who you are, and you better listen up, because I have news for you. Hair loss also affects women, so let me tell you about Divvy. It's good for anyone with hair shedding or thinning. Nothing worse than when too big of a clump comes out on the brush you're using after a shower, and you're like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? It's good for scalps with a lot of product or oil buildup. Talking to myself, I only wash my hair once a week, and I love to use products, so I could use some help. Or us basics with tight hair extensions. Divvy is here to save the day. Danny Austin did the Lord's work for us when she went through an emotional hair loss journey and started researching scalp health. Thank you, Danny. This led to the creation of the first Divvy product, which is a clinically tested scalp serum that improves the appearance of breakage, nourishes hair follicles, say less, take care of them follies, because you know we're not, and it removes product and oil buildup. Its key ingredients are copper tripeptide 1, sounds legit if you ask me, caffeine, we love to see it, and tea tree oil, which is basically a miracle worker. Divvy now also has a dry shampoo, a double dipper, a real BOGO. Dry shampoo that also works towards hair health. The best thing since sliced bread, I tell ya. Do you want to take back control of your hair and scalp health and do it with clean, science-backed ingredients? Well, we have a special offer for my audience. Go to divvyofficial.com/Gabby or enter Gabby at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's use divvyofficial.com/Gabby, GABBY, for 20% off your first order.
Why is this fat gay comedian and this girl from The Bachelor? Why are they talking about global issues?
You just found out today.
Why are they talking about these? No, I mean,
yeah, no, actually, but represent,
represent. Come on.
Like us.
But I think like I don't know, dude. It really is. I think also that's interesting that you say you have a hopeless and nihilistic politic, because I don't think that I don't know you super well.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I don't know. I would love to spend more time talking about that in some capacity. Maybe not right here, right now, because I'm sure there are other things you want to talk about than politics. But I think, yeah, I think you're a good-hearted. It seems like you're a good-hearted, hopeful person, and I think I don't think we can allow ourselves to lean into nihilism as much as I enjoy it.
Yeah,
because I do have very nihilistic days where I'm like, the only thing that matters is me getting laid, eating whatever I want, and making money, baby. Like,
literally,
that's it. There are days where I feel like
Maslow's
that.
hierarchy of needs.
Baby,
getting laid.
I need to eat.
Number one.
I need to eat 78,000 calories, fuck 3 hot guys.
Yeah, actually, and
go
one
to
day.
Europe whenever I want on a first class flight. Like, that is. There are days when
Those
I really lean into that. Yeah, those are my
Yes.
basic needs. That's water and air to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I understand it, and I think there's a lot of it out there. Nihilism is there for us to, if we want it, but I just think that it's too important that we don't, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely go there when I get like a little bit overwhelmed, or I'm just like tired of thinking, which happens a lot. I get one thought and I'm like, holy fuck, I need a nap. Like, there's actually not much going on in this little brain. You're getting a really clear mind today. Yeah. I'm going to be toast for the rest of the week. I have to go to the spa immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think there is a balance, and you just have to like let yourself also like retreat, you know?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, we've got to figure something out. I think maybe the last thing I'll say about politics before we move on to something more lighthearted for your podcast. I just think really, if people are wanting to get engaged out there and they're feeling hopeless, or they're feeling like they don't know where to start. About 2 or 3 years ago, I became aware of this tenant union in Kansas City, which is this union of renters in the city that are fighting for
that I can be a part of. Yeah. I had a terrible renting experience.
Landlords are horrible.
Yes.
And rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high. Like it really is. The rent is too goddamn high nationally. And
it's not survivable.
It's not survivable. We need federal rent control. Working class people cannot sustain this. And I just decided I am going to move. I've been disillusioned with candidates. I've been disillusioned with national political movements.
Yeah.
The tenant movement is a national political movement. But
thank God.
I've been disillusioned with so many pieces of activism and working in politics that I just decided no more candidates. I am only going to support the tenant union. Now, my tenant union in Kansas City, I feel so passionate about, and they are pro-Palestine. They do take stances on other issues, and I'm there alongside them.
Yeah.
But my money is dedicated to the tenant union in my city. My energy, I plan a benefit show. I talk about them every chance I get.
Yeah.
And so if someone's feeling hopeless and wants to get involved, I say, find that local issue that you can give all your fucks about, and you can give a shit every hour of the day, and just focus there.
Yeah.
And just worry about that, and don't worry about what am I going to do about our global stake in child labor or whatever.
Yeah.
That's horrible, and that'll be somebody's cause. We do not all have to take up every cause.
Yeah.
Find the thing you can give a shit about and just start there and see if it trickles into more.
Right.
And if it never does and you spend your whole life fighting like hell for the tenant union in Kansas City, you're a bad person. No.
Yeah, literally, then you fucking failed.
No, but I think that would be a worthwhile life, you know?
Yeah, because at least you tried. Because I feel like, just speaking about tenants and stuff, and I had a terrible landlord situation where I had like black mold, and he just gaslit the fuck out of me into like him not wanting to follow up, not wanting to like whatever, figure it out, diagnose it, not wanting to let me out of the lease. And luckily there's this like incredible person who follows me. She's a Harvard lawyer and was like, I can help you, and studied the law. And she's like, no, actually tenants have so many rights.
We do.
But I just feel like the way I was raised and being a woman, I feel like I have no voice.
Yeah.
So, and I think that kind of went in. I think a lot of tenants feel like that. Like you see it, somebody, a figure of power, of authority, and immediately you want to back down.
Totally. Because also life is really busy and hard as it is, and you don't want to bring more conflict onto yourself.
Oh, fuck no.
But another thing that the tenant union, my friend Tara, who's very, very smart, who founded and runs the tenant union in Kansas City, the thing that she described to me that really changed my perspective is the tenant union is for everybody. And if you don't have one in your city, you should start one. But the tenant union is for people like, even you, who I'm sure was renting a very nice home, comfortably paying the rent. The tenant union is for you. The tenant union is for someone who pays $6,000 a month in LA for their rent. The tenant union is for people who live in Section 8 housing in Missouri. The tenant union, if you own your house but it's not paid off in full, you're a tenant to the bank. I own a home in Kansas City, and I'm a tenant to the bank that I pay my loan to. The tenant union is for all of us because it's about housing rights, and ultimately it's about, to me, federal rent control, and also stopping these fucking corporations from buying up all the single family houses and turning them into short-term rentals.
Oh my God.
Airbnb is destroying our communities. It is destroying our communities. And we all use it sometimes. And Airbnb, if you want to do a partnership with me, I'm sure I'm heartless enough to do it. But
yeah.
We do.
No, Airbnb is so fucking dead to me, because also their like listings are just like not accurate of what they're actually, providing.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are fake and a phony, and I'm on to you, but my hands are tied. I don't want to stay in a hotel.
But my last political thing is that the tenant union is for everybody.
Yeah. No, I love that. Should we talk about your dating life?
Yeah! Finally something lighthearted. So unfortunately, I'm dating.
Oh my God! You Zionist. You're fucking him on the side.
I was actually just talking this morning to my roommate about my dating life, because I was talking to this cute guy on Tinder. Well, a cute guy recently broke things off with me.
Yeah, how do you find... Oh, wait. Oh, God,
no, I've got so much to say.
No, stop, because I actually feel like you have mad game. Watching you on the pod with Brittany Broski, and you just, like, funnily joke, like, whatever you do, like, hitting on her, I was like, damn, this is giving toxic in the best way. Because you know how to compliment somebody and get them wrapped around your finger. So I can just imagine you.
I love flirting. I do think I have game. I love flirting. I love dating. I am looking for more than that. I'm tired of being single.
Yeah.
I've been single my entire adult life. I mean, I've had little things, but I'm looking for like something real. And I love to flirt though. Flirting is fun.
Oh my God, you're so good at it.
I love to win someone over.
Yes.
I love
it works on me. Robbie has the best game.
Robbie's a good flirter.
Even still, I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's like not going away. So wait, why'd you guys break up?
Well, he broke
How
things
long were
off.
you dating?
We were not dating. This is the thing.
Okay.
We were like seeing each other, talking.
You were dating in your mind, and that's okay.
Honey, we were married.
Yeah.
No, he shut things down. We'd only been seeing each other for a little bit, but I thought he had a lot of promise. I thought we had a cool little thing going.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, his reasoning was like, God, I don't even know if I want to get into it fully.
No, we don't have to.
But I will say, it's always hard to tell whether or not someone's being genuine when they break something off or letting you down easy. As someone who has let people down easy many times, I just struggle to get the truth. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. I've been telling people this.
Yeah.
I want to make a list of everyone I've dated in the last like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I want to reach out to all of them with a survey.
No, not constructive criticism.
I kind of think it might be time. No. I think it might be time to say, what is happening?
No, it's not, because also it's all them and it's not you, truly.
That is only going to work for so long, though.
No,
you know what
it
I mean?
is.
This is what my friends say, and I'm like, but here I am.
I'm serious. You don't need the criticism. You don't even need to invite it in. Believe, as somebody who was single for so fucking long, 2 failed dating shows, nobody wanted me. Just kidding. I was kind of engaged to a hot hunk.
Were you?
Yeah, but he was dumb as fuck.
Was he from the show?
Yeah.
God, I have so much to learn about your culture.
No, it literally lasted for 2 months. But then after meeting Robbie, it's like, holy shit, it was always all of these other dudes.
Yeah.
Like, I think just like timing, age, also dating dudes is like such a trap.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. I just can't do it. I can't imagine 2 of you in a relationship.
Maybe I need to get onto women again.
Yeah, because you have dabbled in women.
I have. It was not for me. I've said before very publicly, I was on pussy for a while.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I don't like women, so I got off pussy. And then they dropped trans men. And when they put trans men out, I was like, well, these guys have pussy, so I should try that.
My type. We have the same type.
And so then I got on trans men for a second, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm still open to it technically, but the pussy is the problem with me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just not for me.
Totally. You don't like suffocating down there.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
You know, if I wanted to hang out at a fisherman's wharf, I think I just would. No, but I love men. Unfortunately, it's a curse. And yeah, trans men are included in that. We'll see. Maybe I can get on pussy for the right guy.
Yeah.
But I think, I'm tired of being single for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get that. And it's also like, because I didn't know. I knew I was kind of ready maybe like a year ago or before I met Robbie. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm in the place of my life. And then like timing. But you'll find it. You're so great.
Thanks, dude.
Like, so are you on the apps?
I'm on the apps. Anyone can find me on there. Here's what I will say. Can I make a PSA?
Yes, yes.
Here's a PSA.
Yeah.
Gay men, stop hitting me up on Grindr and telling me that you're a fan. I don't give a fuck. Be a fan on Instagram. Be a fan on Patreon. Be a fan in the ticket sales. Be a fan.
I don't need another fan. I need a fuck.
Baby, I've got fans. And I've got friends, too. That's the other thing. Hey, guys hitting me up on dating apps and being like, I'm just looking for friends. Look elsewhere, bitch.
Right. Why are you on? Get on Bumble BFF.
I've got friends. I don't need friends.
Right.
I'm sorry that you do, and I wish you the best. I'm not on here for friends. I'm on here for a husband who wants to have kids with me.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Same. I have no friends, and I don't need more.
Yeah, I just, oh God, the fan thing too. Gay guys hitting me up on Grindr and being like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I'm like, thank you, but if you're ugly, I guess still go ahead. But if you're hot, know that I want to sleep with you.
Yeah, totally. And then it's like immediate. Do you ever question? You're like, okay, well, do you like my platform and my fame, or do you like me?
For sure.
Right.
For sure. And if we're just talking about sleeping, I don't care if honestly, if you want to sleep with me just because I have a little bit of clout and you just want a one night stand, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you're cute, if you're ugly, don't try it. But I think if you're cute, come through. But in dating, I definitely do get a sense sometimes. Like I'll be on a first date and I'll go, oh, you're not interested in me.
Yeah.
And that's I wish they would just say I'm busy, so I would say I wouldn't waste my time.
Right, exactly.
'Cause I'm like, I will find that out.
Yeah.
And then you will have taken nights away from me that I could have spent with friends or family.
Right. And like you have an intuition, so you're onto them early. It's like nobody's falling for your games.
Yeah.
Like
date one, I'm going to know if you're into me or if you're into who you think I am.
Yeah. And just like the lowest hanging fruit, like whatever, like popular by association, like grow up.
Yeah. Also, it's not going to happen for you, dog. Like,
yeah, because I'm not posting your ass and I'm not putting you on anywhere.
I'm not posting. I'm not putting you on. And also, like, I just think if you want to do that, when a cute guy does it, it always cracks me up because I'm like, you could shoot higher. Like, you could aim for someone with more followers who's more, like, there's just so much more you could do for yourself in the clout chasing space. Why would it be me? I'm not that big. You know what I mean?
No, but you're funny as fuck.
Well, that's why I'm like, if you're here for that, we can maybe work something out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh my God. So do you have guys in your DMs though? Because I feel like they're flooded.
I do have guys in my DMs and I love those guys. Thank y'all for being there. A lot of them are delusional. Like I will say there's guys who hit me up that are just like so obviously have nothing going on. Like they don't have like their profile is like they have no friends. They don't seem to have a career that they enjoy. I'm looking at the profile and I'm going, what would you ever think? It's like
spiky hair and selfies.
And that's it,
like this,
right?
Yeah.
Or guys hit me up and they're very old.
Yeah.
Or very young. Like 18-year-olds will hit me up and I'm like, baby.
You're like, I'm not a pedo. I'm not a chimo.
I'm not interested. I'm like, also just like I understand because when I was 18, I didn't think I was like, if I want to date a 29 or 30-year-old, I can. It's no worries. But it's like, if you're 18, 19, 20, you don't need to be DMing me.
No.
You can be a fan, but you don't need to be hitting on me for sure.
It's giving like wanting to be groomed.
For sure. And by the same token, 40, 45, 50.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving.
No. Okay, so what's your age range?
My age range, technically, I would say I would maybe... it's complicated. A lot of my friends think 23 is too young. I'm 29. Uh-huh. When I was 23, I do think I was extremely mature.
You were serving. Relationship.
I was. No one was picking. No one was ordering, but I was serving.
No, yeah, same.
So I think maybe 23, 24 would be like the absolute youngest. Ideally, I think 26 would probably be my floor. I would have to meet like an exceptional 24-year-old at this age.
Right.
But I think all the way up to like potentially 40. I think like it just depends on who you are and what your life is like.
Right. If you're a young 40, not saying that 40 is old, but it's like it's your spirit. Like I've dated older before and it's like, but we were aligned and like we were goofy and like to play and like there wasn't like, you weren't like old man.
I've joked about not dating 37 and 40-year-olds and it's
you're
been
like,
a joke.
what am I going to take care of you after your cabbage? You're like, what are you going to be on dialysis? I'm like, wow.
I got to stop making jokes like that because I think I'm scaring off some of the eligible suitors because I actually would is the thing.
Yeah.
But I think, it's for me, I'm not hung up on that.
Yeah, totally.
I would love someone, by the way, just my age.
Right.
Or just like 28 to 30.
Yeah, just like, or someone.
Yeah.
Like anyone, please.
Like anyone, God. No, someone my age would be ideal.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously.
Totally. Because especially with men, I feel like age is so huge. Like, it's like it is, they just, I don't know if it's something in the hormones or the patriarchy, but they just want everything. Yeah. They don't want their supply to shut off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how though? Because also there's so much benefit you get from a relationship. You know?
I look, as a man, I don't ever understand what's going on with us. I don't know what we're thinking. I don't know what's wrong with us. I'm certainly part of the problem. I admit that. It's brutal out here.
Oh, yeah. But you'll find someone.
Trying to.
Do you date in LA or Kansas City?
I date most in LA and New York. I go to New York like once a month and I date a lot there. I try to date in Kansas City. I would love to meet someone in Kansas City.
Yeah, literally.
It would make life so easy.
Yeah.
That's where I want to end up. Like I'll always be in LA to some extent. But Kansas City is like definitely if I met a guy who was cool with living in Kansas City, I'd be like, we're cooking,
Yeah, yeah.
But Kansas City dating scene for a gay guy my age,
it's probably and plus you have access to big cities, so you're like, let me try here first.
It's tough. I love Midwestern people, but the few guys I've dated in Kansas City, it's been they're just either it's this weird thing where like the position I'm in life where I'm like 29 and succeeding at the thing I do and traveling a lot and being kind of like bi-coastal-ish. It's not an easy thing to find someone in a similar place in a place like Kansas City.
Yeah.
A lot of 9-to-5s, a lot of either like very like 22-year-old college students, which I'm not interested in, or like 35-year-old married couples who have moved back and are like open, which I'm deeply not interested in.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
No, but you'll find someone. They always say when you least expect it, but I always expected it.
Really?
So don't stop. Oh, fuck yeah. I'd go to the gas station. I'm like, who wants me?
Who wants?
Come on.
Who wants
7-Eleven. Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by the Bachelor of it all.
Yeah.
How did you end up on The Bachelor? I'm sure you've talked about this a million times, but for Caleb, for me personally.
No, yeah. I don't even know if I have, but I was like, whatever you like nominate. I was a Denver Broncos cheerleader for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I was newly single and my teammates nominated me. I had dated somebody like who had done Bachelor and he was kind of a heartthrob before, but we had dated in college.
Yeah.
So my bio was like Denver Broncos cheerleader, dated this guy, and then a picture of my swimsuit calendar photo.
Yeah.
And they called me the next day and left a voicemail, but I thought I was like too good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to be a cheerleader and a nurse.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to find a doctor to love me forever. And then I just never did. And like, I think 4 years later, my friend nominated me again. They had my profile, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was fucked over on Bachelor and became the Bachelorette.
Oh, so you first were one of the girls seeking the guy.
Yeah.
And then that didn't go well.
I was famously dumped.
You were dumped famously. This is a big part of your lore.
Yeah. Iconically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, we want you to be the girl that the guys seek.
Yes. Yeah. That was also a shit show. And then here I am, a lesbian, bisexual, whatever you want to call her.
What are you calling her?
Who knows? Because like I think I'm whatever I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm not straight, so clearly I'm gay. But like, what's the difference between bisexual and pansexual?
Probably just views on gender.
Yeah, like pan is like yes, no gender.
I think pan is like a more progressive. In my opinion, pan is more like attracted to energies and personalities, which just means like gender is not a factor for you. And then bisexual is like I'm into men and women, and I think in fact a lot of bisexual people probably are pan.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like it's something we don't talk about because if you're bisexual and you're not really picky with your gender, that probably means that there's something more to that you're attracted to.
Yeah, there might just be some there might be sections. I mean, the queer community is vast and complicated, obviously, but I think there are probably some bisexual people who, and I understand this to an extent, that when they're with a man, they really want a very cis man, and when they're with a woman, they want a very cis woman.
Oh, yeah.
They like their genders very split in the thing that they're doing.
I like my genders fluid as fuck.
Yeah, you like it to mix around a little bit.
Yes, yeah. I can't tell either which way.
I've really done it all. I've done non-binary people, I've done trans people, I've done men, women.
Yeah.
I really
So what do you think you are?
Sexuality wise?
Yeah.
I'm a gay man.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a gay man.
But you've tried it all and that's how you got there.
Yeah, I got here by experimentation, and I just love being a gay man. I think I love being a homosexual faggot. I love being a gay man. I love gay men. I love
it too.
I love the history of gay men. I love the culture of gay men. I love what we've brought to the world. I love meeting gay men. I think gay men are effervescent and beautiful and wonderful.
Honestly, agreed. I think I'm just swinging the other way as a reaction to everything that I've been through recently. I'm sure the pendulum will swing the other way with men, like one day, at least that I can tolerate them. But when I'm in a room, I'm not seeking out a straight white man. It's a gay man.
I love a gay guy.
Oh my God, same. It's like we connect.
People.
Yes.
I just love queer people. I love queerness. I think it's the most beautiful. I think queer people are, I really could move myself to tears if I wanted to. I think queer people are so brilliant and loving and beautiful and wonderful and smart and artistic, and have just created like pretty much everything good in this world has come from a queer mind.
I love that.
I just love queer people. I think we're the biggest gift to the earth, and I think I love queer people politically. I love queer people personally. Yeah, I think if you don't like queer people, I think you're obviously a big fucking loser, but I think more than anything, you're missing out. Yeah, totally. And even just having the mindset, like opening up your mind a little bit, you find out so much about who you are. And I think that's why we're all here, is just to figure out who the fuck we are. Like nobody knows unless you really try. I also think queerness is, it's, you know, I joke sometimes on stage that queerness is the biggest gift I've ever been given, and being attracted to men is the biggest curse. But being attracted to men is what delivered me to queerness. Queerness has just made me a radically more empathetic person. Yeah. It's made me a more creative and interesting person. It just, it opened my mind to, like, when you grow up gay in a place like Missouri, you have to, you don't, I guess you don't have to, because some people don't, but for me, it forced me into a place of relating to and aligning myself with other underdogs and other people who are marginalized and on the margins of society. And by the way, just builds a personality, and those people are naturally more interesting anyway. Like they just have like more to say and different thoughts that you haven't heard of. Yeah. And I think also, you know, like it's funny because if you would have asked me when I was 17 what I would change about myself, I'd be like, I wish I was not fat, not gay, and not from Missouri. You know, and now I'm like, thank God for all those things. And be proud of where you came from. I'm proud of all that stuff now. It's hard when you're a teenager and they just feel like so, you know. Yeah. But I think it's funny to me a lot of times when I tell people how left I am or my politics, they go, oh my God, it's so, how did you come from a place like Missouri and be such a leftist? And I go, you know, my politics, my views on the world, my embracing of queerness, they are not in spite of where I'm from. They're directly because of my Midwestern values. Midwestern values at their core, actually, before they were co-opted by right-wing psychopaths, actual Midwestern values are about leaving people alone, loving everybody, being nice, having a smile on your face, you know, good treating people with dignity, good food. Come into my home. You always have a home hosting, here. Enjoying nature. Like Midwestern values are very, very aligned with leftism and with queerness. It's been co-opted by a group of right-wing psychopaths to make it this like hoaxy black and white, like old timey thing. But that's not what Midwesternism is.
Yeah, no, I agree. Also coming from the Midwest, but I haven't reckoned with it like you.
I sense that in you. And I think also that's totally fair. But I would love to keep talking about it in our friendship because I think the Midwest is, I literally, when you told me you're from the Midwest, I thought I felt connected to you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love people from the Midwest because I think they're just like so warm and welcoming and like someone you can easily have a conversation with. And like some people in LA, I can't totally read them.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you judging me or am I judging you? And like, what are you actually talking about? Because it all sounds like platitudes.
Yeah.
Like we're not, like we can't just like not even get to the bottom of things, but have like good, genuine small talk.
Yeah.
Like in the Midwest, you can.
I just love a big long card table at a Midwest dinner that they've thrown a kind of shitty little tablecloth over.
Yeah.
People eating off like the slotted paper plates.
Yes.
Just chatting.
Yeah.
You know, to me, the Midwest, I absolutely love Midwestern people and the Midwestern vibe.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. Last thing. You famously said you were raised by, I think famously in my mind, 4 women, your mom and the Dixie Chicks.
Correct.
What's like your relationship like with your mom? It seems like you like adore her.
My mom and I are very close.
Oh, I love that.
My mom and I are very
she was
close.
a nurse.
She's a nurse. She's still nursing. She just yesterday recorded we did like a hour and a half long episode of my podcast, me and my mom.
Oh my God.
So we're gonna put that out soon. It's gonna be wonderful. My mom's just a tremendous human being, and I love her to death. And she really introduced me to such great music and so many things as a kid.
We have similar music tastes too. I'm seeing, I can't pronounce it. What is it? Wakahaki.
You're seeing Waxahachie this week?
Yes, on Thursday. Oh my God.
Of course I'll be there.
Yeah.
Would never miss it.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
She's amazing.
I've never seen her in concert. She's so incredible.
She lives in Kansas City, by the way.
Oh my God.
She's wonderful. A dear friend. Great, incredible music. Her most recent album, the one we're going to see on Thursday night, is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the world of her. But I think, pretty much women for me in general. I mean, women have just always been my biggest influences. It started with my mom, and then it just continued through the things that she put me onto. And I love women.
Oh, I love that. Send her my regards from a former nurse.
I'll say hey.
Yeah.
Former nurse Gabby.
Yes, please.
Wants you to know you're loved in LA.
My license is expired.
Let's get it back. Let's get you back in the scrubs.
I don't think so.
No worries.
Okay. Actually, no.
Thank
you so much. Where can we find you?
Y'all, please listen to, and more importantly, watch on YouTube my podcast, So True with Caleb Hearon. I have incredible guests on there, and we're just chit-chatting the day away. And find me on everything at Caleb Says Things online if you want to. I absolutely detest the internet, but I am on there regardless.
Yay!
Thanks for having me, dude.